Okay, so it seems like recently Bao has been getting even more hate over on Twitter, and this time it's from a particular person that it seems like a lot of people do not like, right? And again, I think it is fair enough to criticize Bao for a lot of the things that she has said, especially in the past couple of months or so, regarding the Sykkuno situation and a whole lot more. I do think that you are fine to criticize that, but I do think it gets to the point where, we got to look at who is actually criticizing Bao and exactly do they get the information right? And I think it is one of those situations where I think that, as I said, it's fine to criticize someone, but, get it right. Get the information right. Get whatever you're criticizing right. And then you have a valid point, right? But again, it seems that recently a post has blown up coming from this person called Pikky, who has a pretty not so great, past. And we'll go into that in a second. But essentially, they made this post in response to just someone saying Bao looks cute with glasses, right? I mean, let's be real. I think that if this was in response to maybe something drama related, sure, I can understand. But I think it's a little bit unnecessary to be doing it to just random fans that are talking about how great she looks, right? I mean, like, let's be real. If you want to like if you want to reply directly respond directly to Bao herself over a post that she made or whatever, sure, I can understand that, right? Because of course you're responding directly to them. But you're responding to the Vebe virus talking about how cute she is. I think it's just like, was this really necessary, right? But essentially what they said here was said that every male creator is a predator, which obviously I don't think is correct. She said that she was saying, to be careful of larger male content creators. Now, I would argue that's not every male content creator, considering she said larger. She did say, she did generalize, male content creators quite a lot, which I think is true. But I don't think she said every male content creator, which I think is something that maybe some people, kind of tried to cross over. That tried ruining Cinder's career, slept with Sykkuno and knew everything. Now, part of that is true. I don't think, maybe there's some evidence that I haven't seen somewhere, but I've covered the Sykkuno situation pretty in depth. I haven't seen anything to do with her, sleeping with Sykkuno. I've seen the information, obviously, about, her knowing everything, which, of course, is something that, we have covered on this channel. And she was kind of, linking up a lot of the people that Sykkuno was talking to. But apart from that, I don't think I've ever seen any kind of things of her sleeping with him. But again, maybe there's some information that I don't know. Lies and manipulation, just a general. I mean, I think it's one thing to say that someone's lying and manipulating people, but like, come on, let's provide an example here. Let's just give us like who are they lying to? What's the lies? What's the manipulation? Who are they manipulating? So we can look at this, right? Again, no clue. And also never took accountability. The same thing. Taking accountability for what? Now I can probably, kind of infer what that means. Maybe taking accountability for the male creator stuff and the Cilda stuff, or whatever. But again, if you want to make a good point, at least provide an example, right? But obviously a lot of people have been kind of responding to this to say Bao is the embodiment of greed. And yeah, below people said, please never speak for us pyropups again. You ain't much better. Which obviously is, seems like even pyropups don't like this, despite how much a lot of them don't like Bao after this into stuff. Saying she, one of the VTubers who slept with Sykkuno, who else is on that list? Which again, I just don't think is true. Unless there's other evidence out there that I don't know about, I don't think that's true. They said, let me guess, your old account got nuked after I warned you to be careful about how far you went and got back and started again. Alright, Pikky, considering this is your last warning, when you go after others like Bao, be careful what you say before you get nuked again. So again, obviously, apparently this person is pretty controversial in the space, in the sense that they've had a lot of not so great claims and allegations and lots of screenshots and stuff, which again, I think is pretty disgusting. And it seems like they're resorting to obviously like rage baiting a lot of people, making controversial posts, making things that obviously, people are going to dislike. Obviously, people are going to dislike these statements and whatever, to kind of get attention, right? But obviously they keep getting banned and stuff too. And again, there's been people like this, for example, like a V artist, saying, and you're a predator, but I don't think that will, you will cover that, will you? which obviously they link a video, a very popular video, obviously exposing a lot of stuff
There
to
is a
do
word
this.
for this,
Oh my
Pixie.
god, wait, there we go. Yeah, essentially it's got 300,000 views, 12,000 likes a year ago, where they say, yeah, today we revisit a predator, Pikky, which is obviously the person that they're talking about here, Pikky, which I think is crazy, right? And of course, people have been commenting that quite a lot over here, and saying this kind of stuff, which I think is quite, funny, considering, saying that every male content creator is a predator. Is like, you want to be talking? Like, let's be real. Said, imagine trying to act like you're an ally of women everywhere. Meanwhile, you were just blanking someone's BF behind their back all along with half the town, and you say absolutely nothing to her for over a year about the dangerous predator Lamau. Which again, I don't know if that's true. As I said, I haven't seen anything about that. But yeah, people said, bro, Deadass got banned for being a blank, and pops up on his 5th alt account to continue making these same posts for engagement farming. Hope this account gets banned too. Said, what do you mean she slept with Sakuno? She's the one who told the other girls about him. You really need to stop lying and slander. Lying and slander, you're going to get sued and it will be deserved. People said, this you, obviously this is the one of the posts, one of these screenshots that keep getting brought up, which, yeah, I mean, again, it's just disgusting. I don't really want to read that out loud, right? Again, you guys can go watch this video, by the way. It's by Silas Gios. You guys can see there. If you want to go watch like exactly everything about this person and their past. People say Bao is an e-hole, nothing more. Saying, oh no, the blank is back. You're not allowed to speak. You forgot one more stupid thing. Really, really stupid. It said, why does this PDF keep popping up? Takes one to know what I get. That I'm all for hating Bao, but you should be talking for a blank and a blank. Yeah, exactly. And I think that is true, right? I think there is this one, there is this sentiment of like, hey, you can criticize Bao all you like, but first of all, let's get things right. And second of all, I don't want to hear it coming from someone who's been accused of some pretty horrible things. And, there's a lot of evidence of some pretty horrible things. Again, I would not like to kind of, be taking that information from them, right? If it was anybody else, sure, maybe I could, understand it a bit more. But, obviously a lot of people say it takes one to know one, which I think is absolutely crazy, right? If you said, yeah, I want everyone to understand Bao, the whale drama is an ambush predator a few years ago. She went around copy striking people for fan art of her. She managed to deflect the blame every time she's gotten involved in drama. This person says, you wanted to blank. Yeah, that many people, let's not call anyone else greedy. That you're a blank, maybe address your own stuff first. The blank is able to criticize Bao. Like, yeah, our actions were messed up, but when are you going to take accountability for yours? You're a criminal. There's only one who is the embodiment of greed. So yeah, obviously a lot of people have been just calling them out, and it seems that this is kind of backfired, right? This post on Bao. And again, as I said, you're free to criticize Bao as much as you want over the kind of situation and everything that has gone on with her, because I do think she has messed up quite a bit, especially in the past and maybe more so recently as well. But again, a lot of people, you can criticize that, but whenever it's coming from someone like this, I mean, come on, let's be real here. You're just going to get clowned on every single time. And it seems like that is exactly what the wider fan base is doing right now. They're just clowning on them because, again, it's stupid, right? It's stupid, and nobody is taking it from someone who has such heavy claims against them. And yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy. But as I said, it is all just for engagement. It's all for getting attention. It's all for that. But I think it's not going to work out, right? I think that obviously there is the kind of saying of, any attention, including bad attention, is, good attention. And essentially, any kind of publicity that you can get is always good. But I'm going to be honest, I do think there is some cases where that's not true, right? And I think this is one of them, because, the more public you get, the more people find out about, all of your past stuff with all of these Discord screenshots and everything like that. And you end up making yourself look worse, right? And people are going to be much more angry and stuff, especially if you're going after, you know, their favorite VTuber or whatever, and then they're gonna find out about the allegations, and they're gonna find out about this and that and this, and then it's just gonna be like some big, like, massive thing, right? And it's just so stupid. I don't think they should have ever returned, but of course they seem desperate to get any bit of attention that they can. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazo, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.